home sellers need a great photographer, and a great photographer prefers that the home is well organized, decluttered, photo ready, and buyer ready. For that, we have our own team here, Dan Williams Photography and Brianne Quinn from Bree Organized. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So, Dan, what are some information that you like to provide home sellers on what it is that you're looking for when you go to photograph a house?
Well, the key thing that Britt Bippen will provide any home seller with is a checklist on how to prepare a home for photography. Interestingly enough, when buyers are looking at listings online, the first thing they look at is the location. Then they look at the price. And instead of reading that lovely paragraph that Bippen will write about your home, the first thing they do is go to the pictures. And after that, they go to other kinds of things like floor plans or virtual tours or whatever might be adaptable for that particular house. But the bottom line is the pictures are critically important because that's what people see to make a decision whether they want to come and see the house. So when I arrive, Brianne or somebody have already been there. Bippen has already told you what needs to be done. The decluttering is critical. Many pictures of children and so on should be taken off the walls that Brianne can help you with, because once they're online, they're there forever. So you don't want children's pictures there. And then I come in and I greet you and we get to know each other a little bit. We take a walk around. You tell me what's important to you. I open up the blinds. I get things ready for what I need to do. And then we get started. But it's always a very pleasant, positive experience when I come. Little statistic. I don't know if you guys have ever heard this before, but it's a very stressful time for people to sell a house. And statistically, they say that preparing a house for sale is more stressful than a breakup. And I believe that's true. So I try to put my clients at ease, and together the three of us make sure that everybody's ready and comfortable with the process. And that's where we go.
Absolutely. And in today, 99% of the people, I would say, are making a decision on what homes they want to see in person by looking at the photographs or the video.
Mm-hmm.
So it is imperative that your home is shown in the best light possible. And that is where Dan comes in to capture those images of your house, of your memories. And Brianne is somebody who is a great organizer. She has a good eye for how the home and other different areas of the home would look in a picture. So, Brianne, tell us about what your role is and how you help the house get photo ready and buyer ready before Dan comes in to take pictures.
Absolutely. So most people think about their selling their home and they think it is picture perfect already, which everyone loves their home. However, as I'm sure Dan can attest to, photos are a lot different than how you see something in real life. So while you may walk into a room and it may feel welcoming and cozy and just a beautiful home, the photo, once taken, will reveal, poor lighting, that the furniture is not quite at the right placement for the camera angle, that, it's just not as welcoming seeing cords hanging behind a TV or coming out from a nightstand. So those small elements really do make a huge difference in the photos. So I focus with my clients on purging items that are unnecessary, that we don't need to move once the house is sold, packing the items that don't need to be shown in the photos and that they don't need prior to moving, really decluttering, organizing your home, because closets will be open, cabinets will be opened, things that you're not thinking about for the photos, but really do matter once your amazing photos are taken. people view them online, and then they come to see your home in person. And then staging. So adding those small elements to your home that really make it look picture perfect and polished.
Right. And you want to make sure that the buyer can visualize as their home.
Yeah.
And as you said, by depersonalizing images or other the college diplomas or personal photos on the fridge, on the wall, and anything that may seem it shows your beliefs or
Yes.
religion are best left out, just so that
Hmm.
you want to reach out, you want to invite people from all walks of life, all walks of religion, and
That's right.
yeah, you want to open up a wide spectrum of pool of buyers.
Yeah, really cutting the clutter. It's wonderful that you have ran a marathon or that you are on The Price is Right. However, it's distracting to that potential buyer. So we really do want them to focus on the home and what they will be purchasing rather than your achievements in life.
Right. And besides, what goes on your home listing becomes public information, and
Hmm.
Correct.
there are times when you don't want anybody to see what college you have been to or what other achievements and qualifications that you have.
I might add one thing to this too, because of the timing that we're in. In America today, we're pretty polarized, and we have to remember, if we're selling a house, that we're basically selling a product. And when you're selling a product, if you have political signs or memorabilia visible to anybody walking in the house, and it doesn't matter which team you belong to, you're potentially going to turn off 50% of your potential buyers. So it's
Right.
best to put all of that stuff away. And I know that people are very sensitive about that these days, but it's really important because we're selling the house. We're not selling your beliefs.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely. And I think as a team, we really go through that. Every single one of us on this call really take great pride in helping our clients achieve that. And we want to sell your home and really show it in the best light and not have any distractions.
Right. So, Brian, uh, what are different ways you are able to help a home seller?
So every homeowner is very different and you have different needs, and we really personalize your experience. So if it is just a decluttering, clearing horizontal surfaces, finding new homes for these items, because we do not just want to throw them in the nearest cabinet or closet. From things of just purging, decluttering, to really staging the home so that way it becomes almost a little bit more generic,
Hmm.
so everyone can envision themselves in the home. You want people to walk in and see your living room and think, wow, this is so inviting. I can just sit down on the couch. I don't even need anything else. It is move-in ready. This home is for me. So really working with the client to bring our vision to life. And I think all three of us really work together to achieve that, because you'll prepare the client and we will all make a timeline together, because by the time Dan comes to take the photos, we want it to be absolutely picture perfect and ready for a potential buyer to walk in the next day to purchase the home.
Right.
And it
Absolutely.
usually is within the next couple days.
Right now,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Hmm.
Yeah. Then, what kind of photography services do you offer?
Well, the real estate photography business has actually blossomed a little bit since I got into it 9 years ago. I've been a professional photographer for 20 years, and I did my time with weddings and all those things that people do. But I really found my passion to be in working with people like Vipin. And when I decided that this was going to be my business, I wanted to, like everybody, I wanted to work to be the best in the marketplace. And what I found was that the average photography out there just wasn't for me. There was strange colors. There was sort of a lackadaisical approach to the business. So what I did was I began building my business where every single house is photographed with lighting that I bring in my hand. And there are usually somewhere between 3 to 5 lights set up in a scene. And so what I can bring to the market is the top quality photography. Now, some people, that's not important to them, but my clients feel that photography quality is important, and so do the homeowners. So that's one of the key things. When I walk out of a home and send you the images, the pictures are light and bright. Even if it's a dark house with dark paneling, it's nice and inviting and light and bright. And that's a big key thing with marketing. The second most important thing after photographs, statistically, are floor plans, and I provide those. Floor plans allow the buyers, the potential buyers, to see each room, to see the flow, to see the measurements, which I provide, and they can decide if their furniture will fit in the living room and so on. And I highlight what we call wet rooms, the bathrooms. Those are in blue, so people can immediately see where those are when they look at our floor plans. So that's a pretty important part of my business. In fact, I'd say 80% of my houses we use floor plans for. And the third key thing is virtual tours. And it really blossomed during COVID, where people didn't want other people walking through their house if they could avoid it.
Right.
So my virtual tour allows you to spin around the room, look around in nooks and crannies. And I'll be honest with you, I can't tell you how many buyers from other states purchased homes sight unseen because of my virtual tours. So those are the 3 key elements that can really get people to spend time on your website and make a decision before they schedule a showing.
And how about drone?
Well, that's interesting. Every single shoot, I'm an FAA licensed professional drone pilot. I will tell you that there are other pilots who have not gone through the effort to be licensed. It's a grueling process. But again, I figured if I was going to do this, I was going to be the best at it and be the most up. And pardon the pun. So the key thing is that I use drones for about 95% of my exterior shots. So it doesn't mean higher is better. I go in straight at the house. It might only be 9 feet up, but it's a better look. And anybody who looks at my website can see drone shots that they may not be sure if it's drone, but when they look at it, they'll say there's something about it that looks better than anything else I see out there. And then the last part about the drone thing is I go up high and I'll identify the house, but also local things like elementary schools, things that might be within walking distance. I'll actually label them on a high drone shot, which that gets people going right away.
So it kind of gives you a bird's eye view of the community where the home is located.
And I'll tell you why, Bipin. I believe that if you're going to sell a property and a location, let's show them the property and the location.
Absolutely.
Same thing, by the way, with one of the reasons I use lights inside is you can see out the windows. Have you ever seen most pictures, the windows are blown out white, like Brianne's window right there? And the reason why is they're not using lights to complement the sun. And that's what my lights do, so that you can see inside and outside, which is really good because if you have a beautiful backyard, let's show them what it looks like from the family room.
Absolutely. So Brianne, besides helping people with staging their homes, you are an organizer, professional organizer. So what did you tell them about what else do you do?
Yeah, so most of my clients use a wide variety of my services. So before you move, whether you're downsizing or making a big move across state lines, we definitely want to go through your home and see what items we can purge that we do not need to pack, that we can let go. Because if you've been in a home for 25 years, odds are all the boxes in your basement don't need to come with you to the next house. I'm sure
Right.
that there are one or two that we haven't opened in a few years.
Right, right.
So really just going through all of your items and seeing what we can get rid of. And I help you with that process. After that, we start packing up items that are unnecessary to have out, items that you can live without for a few months. Do you really need your fine china in the middle of summer? Probably not. So just working through those small details to make the move easier once you get that amazing offer on your home. And then decluttering spaces tends to be such a critical thing before listing a house, because while you may think it is fine to leave a stack of folded towels in your dryer, it will not show very nice in photos. So really just working through the home and going through every single room with a fine-tooth comb and seeing how we can improve upon it. Because while your home may be lovely, usually it tends to be clients' number one investment. So we really want to showcase your investment and get that return on investment when you sell. So with my services, usually with purging items, packing, decluttering, staging, any combination of that tends to be less than 1% of the listing price. So really your investment in me staging your home, decluttering your home will give you a large return when you end up listing your home.
Hey,
Great.
Brianne, how do you handle oversized furniture in family rooms and living rooms and even bedrooms?
Yeah, so things like moving furniture around, I'm sure you've seen frequently, just because as you come into the home to shoot the home, sometimes the light, which most people aren't thinking, oh, where's the best camera light going to come from? And just natural lighting coming in, because even as potential buyers are coming in to see the home, they want to see everything open and bright. Moving furniture around, adding small elements like throw pillows, pops of color, really drawing the eye so that way they see the whole room. We don't want them to focus on one large item in the room. We want to draw their eye all the way around the room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Great idea. And again, our goal is to present the home in the best light possible, where an organizer comes in to declutter, depersonalize, and just make things pop, as you said, rather than focusing on something on one aspect of the room. You are putting the focus where it needs to be.
Exactly. And there really is a science behind it. It takes a quick Google search to see that staged homes sell faster.
And
And it really,
not only sell faster, but sell for more. How about that?
correct. And really the different colors can evoke different feelings. The placement of a mirror on a certain wall rather than the wall you have it on could just display much better, provide more natural light into the room. It's these small details that the average homeowner doesn't know that I bring to the table.
Right, right.
I might add, when I come in to photograph a house on the inside, I always begin in the kitchen. And the kitchen is really the money shot for my business. And what I always recommend when Brianne says less is more, I would say less is more. The key thing is you want to really clear the counters of almost everything, including toasters and microwaves and things that maybe you use every day, but it might be good to put it in a closet for the showings. Mm-hmm. And for when I'm in there working. I had a lovely lady one time who had one of those collections of little, like a village collection, you know what I mean, where you could have cutouts of the post office and everything. And she had the entire backsplash rung with her collection. And I had to find a diplomatic way to say, is there any way we can kind of either reduce or remove those? And honestly, her feelings were a little bit hurt. You know, she says, don't you think that when people come in, they're going to want to see my collection? And the truth is no, they want to think about their collection in the house. So really, it's best to put everything off the counter except for maybe that fancy cappuccino maker and, you know, a few things that might look nice. But that's about it. Keep it clean and open.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, when Bipin talks to your clients, like, they almost sometimes feel a little bit hesitant to have an organizer or stager come into their home, like it's offensive, but really you're trying to help protect their investment. And having our team that provides the best quality is going to give them that return on their investment.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think we have, provide a lot of good information and tips to our viewers. And what I'll do is, if you have any information that you want to share, like some tips, or then send it to me, and I'll put it at the bottom of this recording in the comment section, so people could check it out. And if they have any questions, they can definitely reach out to you or me if it is something that relates to staging and photography. So I want to thank Dan and Brianne for joining the show today and providing tons of information to our viewers. And I'm sure they would find this information very useful, and they will be better prepared when we show up as a team to help them make the best out of their home sale experience by creating a visual which entices the buyer to, they want to come and see the house, and then seeing that this is exactly, the house looks like exactly as they saw in the pictures. Like what you see is what you get. They did find what, and they fall in love, and they'll write you an offer that you can refuse, hopefully. So I really appreciate you guys coming in. We will continue to educate and inform our home sellers on different ways we can make this process better.
May I add one thing, Bipin?
Absolutely, absolutely.
I work with a lot of realtors, and I work in this, I know a lot of realtors, and I watch a lot of what's going on. I will tell you that anybody who watches Bipin's show already knows that he cares about his business, and he's trying to figure out how he can best serve the community. I will tell you that he's not in the majority. Bipin is right up there in that top 5 or 10% of realtors who really think about how to market their client's home. Marketing is something I've done for my entire career. It's a really interesting science, which Brianne does as well. And to find a realtor like Bipin who goes to the extra effort and worries about things like staging and photography, trust me, the vast majority of realtors out there do not. So if you're looking for a realtor, be sure to ask the hard questions, like what they're going to do to market your home. And if they don't have the best answers, and go back and look at their past listings as examples, because their brand is basically going to be visible to you. And this thing we're doing right now is a good example of Bipin's branding, of how he takes care of his clients. So I would highly recommend you take a look at what he's doing in the marketplace and ask him the hard questions, because he'll figure it out and he'll help you make the right decisions.
Thank you, Dan. We bring this small biz spotlight show every Saturday at 10 o'clock. And small businesses where we work and live in the community. Small businesses are a very important part of the community. And I strongly believe in doing business with small businesses. we also occasionally bring in community organizations like food bank or other charitable organizations, and we have also brought in different township officials to talk about what different services are offered in a particular township. So that is how we are trying to give back to the community by providing and supporting our local small businesses. I started this show in at the onset of pandemic, when we were all locked in. We could not go out. Before pandemic, I used to do this show in person, and pandemic we couldn't do it. So that's how I started doing this on StreamYard, and it has worked out. With this, you could be anywhere. All you need is a good internet connection, internet connected device, and I have done it from work or while I'm traveling, and it just makes it very convenient. And I thank you again for coming in. Brianne, did you have any final question or thoughts?
No, I really agree with Dan. I mean, as I said, it's your number one investment, and having a team like the three of us that you see here will really go a long way. And I think Bipin really shows that he's taking that extra time and effort to show you these things before you even decide to list with him. So that's amazing.
Thank you. And if you have any suggestions on who else might be a good fit for the show, please reach out to me. My information is on the screen, and I look forward to seeing you next Saturday at 10. Thank you very much, Dan and Brianne.
Thank
Thank
you,
you
Bipin.
so much.
Thank you.